Good evening, folks. Hello, welcome. Hello. This is the really awkward bit where I stop you from having a nice conversation with the people that you've come with and ask you to look at the front in sort of like a slightly teachery way. So, good evening. I'm Simeon Walker. Welcome to Brudenell Piano Sessions. If you're queuing at the bar, keep queuing at the bar and get a drink. There's nothing interesting that I've got to say anyway, so you make yourself at home. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. I'm Simeon Walker. I run Brudenell Piano Sessions, which has been going for about 6 years. And hello. Hi, Georgia. Hi. Thanks for that kiss. I am an old school alumni of this, so far in the distance that it doesn't really seem real. But it's really nice to be back here and to be able to curate this evening of music that is centered around the piano. The whole point, I mean, I know that the festival is the piano, but this is what we do all the time. Everything happens around the piano. There's no genre as such, particularly these days. The way that people interact with music and finding out about new music is not necessarily through a genre kind of perspective, but a little bit more nuanced than that. And so that's what we're trying to do with this. As you might expect, we're based out of the Brudenell Social Club down in Hyde Park, the hallowed, iconic venue, which is one of the UK's most respected venues. And so, but from time to time, we go off on the road and find ourselves in different places. And here we are tonight, which is great. I can see lots of familiar faces, which is fantastic. But if you haven't been before, fundamentally, have a nice time, enjoy yourselves, enjoy the music. If the music moves you to be appreciative in a slightly exuberant way, that's fine. You're welcome. There's no airs and graces here. You're allowed to do that. Please keep it within reason, because, you know, I'm just an invited guest and I don't have enough insurance for that. But enjoy yourselves, and please, I do tell everyone when I go around my travels around the UK and around Europe performing that Leeds is known as the whoopiest city in the UK. And exactly, so whoops are encouraged and required, to be honest. It's a kind of an endorphin thing. It makes you feel really good as a performer if people sound that they like what you're playing. We're going to have 3 musicians performing this evening, and they're all absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for you to experience them and to hear their music. It's all original music, and that's the point with showcasing music being made now by people who are trying to find a way through making some kind of a living as a musician, as a creative person in this rather challenging time. But here we are on election eve, and we're very excited, aren't we, for 2 days' time. But I'm not going to say anything more because I get into trouble when I start talking about politics. Instead, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play the piano, which is difficult for you because it's very sad, and I know that you came well, maybe you thought you'd come for a nice time, but the nice time starts in about 10 minutes. I'm going to play 2 pieces. The first one's called Nocturne. Thank you. You're most kind. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry? It was. Thank you. It's called Nocturne. You can find it on all of the things because music happens online now, which is cool. Hello to the live streamers. You're all very welcome as well, wherever you are. But yeah, it's called Nocturne. There's a really lovely video. I tell you what, there's a really lovely video for that. It was a really nice one-shot video. We recorded it in a space down on Meanwood Road. The videographer and I, we were like, well, how can we make this contextually relevant? Because in a space like this, you've got to think about those things. And so we were like, well, it's a nocturne, so let's film this video in the middle of the night. That makes sense. So 2 a.m, we put it in, we got set up in this place, and we'd managed to drag a upright piano from downstairs upstairs, and it was problematic. The guy turned up with loads of haze and smoke and all of that stuff because it's got to look moody, because it's got to look good on Instagram and all of that stuff. And we just set off all of this haze and then set off the fire alarm. And then the people who own the building were like, "What are you doing?" Well, making a music video. What can I say? Rock and roll. Okay, so here's another piece. This is called Chiaroscuro. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's called Chiaroscuro, and you can't listen to that because it's not released. But I hope you'd enjoyed it just as much. Thank you very much. I particularly enjoyed the pre-applause. It really, really kind of makes you feel especially good if you've clapped before you've heard anything. Thank you very much. We're going to press on with our next performer because this wonderful, amazing musician and performer has to catch a train back to London. And for some reason, the last train to London is 8:45 on an evening. Who knew? Who knew? But I'm so delighted to welcome our next performer. Gwenno Morgan was a student here and graduated in 2021 and performed for us at our 5-year anniversary last year, and is one of the people who our regular audience, and some of you are here tonight, said they loved their performance so much that they would love to have them back. And so for this event, it was perfect to have Gwenno back. So please give a proper Leeds welcome, although she knows it already, but please welcome her back to Leeds, to Gwenno Morgan.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Simeon, for the lovely welcome. It's hard to follow that lovely set, or short set. My name is Gwenno Morgan. The last time I performed here was, well, properly, it was like 3 years ago when I did my final recital through those doors there. And we were all in masks and everything, so this is quite, yeah, a bit different. But yeah, it's so nice being back and seeing like familiar faces. I got to perform at the Brudenell Piano Sessions in September, and it's one of the like loveliest gig experiences I've ever had. It was really beautiful. So yeah, tonight I'm going to be performing my original music, if that's okay. I began with a piece called Samhain, followed by Gwyw, which is Welsh for withered. And they're both from an album, well, a album that I've been working on for the past year or so, that I'm hoping to release in the autumn. So that's really exciting. And this next piece is a piece that's also from the album, a new piece. It's got a lot of like Welsh folk and jazz influences. It's called Alum, which means to gallop or galloping. Thank you. Thanks very much. That piece was called Niwl, which means mist in Welsh. It's from an EP called Murmur or Murmur that I got to make last year with this boutique label in London called Molecular Originals. A lot of my music, well, most of my music is very inspired by film music. I like to call it cinematic, but some people don't like that word when describing music, but I like it. But yeah, I got to do the film scoring module here in Leeds. I believe it was with Ian Zapiro, and I loved it. I just love film music and soundtracks. My enthusiasm for the module didn't quite reflect in my score, in my marks, but I hope I've developed after that. So the next piece, I was on the train on the way to Leeds, and you know when you get a notification when it's like a year ago this thing happened. It was a video of me composing this next piece that I'm about to play. I was on a balcony in Bulgaria, random, but I was on a film scoring course. But yeah, it was weird because exactly a year ago today, and I've never played this piece before. Yeah, I've been very lucky in my life to have amazing piano teachers. And my very first piano teacher when I was 7, he was called Ben Muscat. And it was a couple of weeks before my grade 8 piano exam, when I was 12. And it was one of the last lessons I was having before that lesson, before the exam. And Ben was tragically died in a car crash on his way home from the lesson. He was the most inspiring teacher. He was 25 when he died, which is, yeah, it's crazy. It was really, it hit a lot of people. He was teaching in a town in Wales called Llanidloes. He inspired so many kids and children, and in the funeral, the teacher I got to have after him, she described him as a shooting star. It's like so bright but gone so quickly. And on my 25th birthday last year, I got a tattoo on my wrist of a shooting star. So yeah, he played a massive part in my piano journey, and any time I wanted to quit or whatever, I just think about Ben. So yeah, this next piece is for Ben. Thanks very much. I've come to the last song you'll be glad to hear. Thank you again, Simeon, and to the School of Music for putting this performance or this concert on. Yeah, it's been so lovely, and I feel very honoured to be included in this concert. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. I've heard the really cool artists in the soundtrack, and they're amazing. So yeah, I have to rush to a train straight after this, like Simeon says, which is really annoying because I really wanted to watch the rest of the thing. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. This last song is called God Will.
All right. How about that? Classical jazz, folk-inspired music from the Snowdonian foothills. I mean, I'm here for it. That was Gwenno Morgan. Wow. I did tell you she was awesome, so I didn't lie to you. Please don't talk to her on the way out, because she has to go and catch a train. On this one occasion, you can't talk to her. You can talk to me if you want. I know I'm a very, very, very poor second, but the best thing that you can do is to follow her on social media, all of those things. If you want to do that, there's a very easy way of doing it. You've got one of these very nice flyers with a piano. It's our logo on the front. It's a QR code on the back. That's how we do things these days, folks. I'm sorry, the world moves on. And even though the paper is dead, I've given you a piece of paper to do the digital thing on. So you can go to there, find all of our social media accounts on there. You can find Gwenno on there. And please do look out for her. Look out for this album, because I don't know about you, but if you're not buying it, then I don't know. What can we do? So please buy that. Please support it when it comes out. And please get behind original music. I know that there's a lot of other music that's been written in the past, which is obviously very nice, and we build our musical heritage on it. But there's lots of important music being made now, telling a story for now by people who are just as good, just as passionate, and that's what we're about. So what's going to happen now is you're going to go and buy a drink at the bar, and we're going to have 15 minutes just to relax, and then we're going to have 2 more performances after that, and they're both going to be amazing, and you're going to love it. So enjoy your interval. See you soon. For sticking around, thank you for your attentive listening. It really is something that we try to kind of encourage. Obviously, people want to kind of have a nice time, and that's really important, but we also, from a musician's perspective, can't tell you how amazing it is when people will really listen and really listen attentively. So many of the musicians in the room will know and remember the countless times we've played in contexts and bars and venues and all kinds of places where you might as well be playing a CD. So it really means a lot for people to be really listening and attentive. So thank you. We've got an amazing second half of music coming up, and I really can't wait to share this with you. But just before we start, I'd just like to invite Sally onto the stage. Please give Sally a round of applause. Hello, Sally.
Hi, Simeon.
Who are you?
I'm sorry, I'm just going to fiddle with this. Hi, I'm Sally from the Leeds International Piano Competition. I just want to start by saying massive thanks to Dan and all the team at the School of Music for making the theme and the focus of this year's Summer Festival, Piano Plus. We all love the piano at the Leeds, and it's a competition year. So in September, you'll be able to hear the competition in the Great Hall, just 2 minutes away. And we were really excited to invite Simeon to perform and to curate 3 Brudenell Piano Sessions as part of our Piano Trail Festival. So I know. I'll give you the dates at the end of this. So those of you who are regulars at the Brudenell Piano Sessions might have a bit of an idea about the time and the effort and the love that Simeon puts into curating the series and to sustaining it over the past 6 years. He curates the programme, he invites the artists, he welcomes them onto the stage, he performs, he composes. It's a massive amount of work. In and amongst his other work as a performer and a composer and a teacher, locally, nationally, internationally. So this is a chance for us to turn the tables a bit on you, Simeon, and just find out a bit about your development and your formation as a musician. So do you want to just talk to us a bit about that, about how you developed as a musician and how you came to start the Brudenell Piano Sessions in the first place?
Sure. I think this is what's known in the industry as a plant. But it wasn't from me. But thank you, Sally, and thank you to Dan and everyone here. It's been really lovely to be here. I just music really was the only thing that I was remotely good at. So it was the only thing I was ever going to be able to hopefully make a career from. And Leeds has been a place that I love so much. I've resisted the urge to do the London thing because, I mean, I know Gwenno's gone back now. I can be polite. You know, London's London, isn't it? But Leeds is Leeds. I mean, Leeds is better. Exactly, you know, up the north. And so I was really passionate about making a career here and staying here. I really wanted to do that. And you know, my musical background has been so varied, and growing up doing classical and then doing jazz and then getting into a whole range of different things. And I think for me, that's really where it all kind of started in terms of I just don't really get the whole narrow focus on something. And I know that there are loads of other things that do that, and that's great. But for me, something that just made sense was to broaden things out and to expand the scope of what's possible, whether it's myself in terms of what I'm making or in terms of this event. And there was a gap in the market. Nothing happened like this, and nothing with this sort of multi-genre thing, but based around this as the instrument. Usually, if you go to a live music event, usually you see a band and then they have a support band and they sound just like the main guys, and most people don't turn up for the support act, and it's this weird kind of tradition, which is good, it works, but in this context I thought, let's just do something around the piano. The piano is the centralizing item, and then everything else kind of hangs around it. Thank you.
This is a room full of musicians and performing artists and creative people, all at different stages of their careers and development of confidence in their practice. But one thing I think everyone has in common is that we all need to eat, right? So it'd be great if you could just talk to us a little bit about the artistic model that you've developed at the Brudenell Piano Sessions and the economic model which underpins it, because as artists, you know, we're also small businesses that have to kind of create work and sustain it. So can you just talk to us a bit about that?
Sure. Obviously at the moment, there's a huge challenge in general in terms of funding. And for me, what I wanted to try and do was, having almost 20 years of doing music, I'm well acquainted with here's 20 quid and a bottle of Kronenberg and maybe a Tesco meal deal, which is definitely not as glamorous as it sounds. And I think part of my motivation was I'd done quite a lot of playing in Europe, and I was, going to put my political hat behind me, but I was shocked because I was like, here's a fee, and here's a hotel room, and here's some food, and here's a bit of contribution to your travel. And I found that so shocking that I was taken aback, because I was like, this is just weird. Why is, and they found it bizarre that I was so excited about that. And it was giddy excitement about just being treated like a normal person. And so what I try to do is to set some kind of minimum standard about what we actually pay the people who perform. We offer them a £150 guarantee, but then because we have a pay what you can model, and tonight's a slightly different thing because we're on somebody else's turf, but you're on these leaflets here, you'd be able to scan this QR code and go to a payment link. And what I really started to notice was that I really wanted to make sure that anyone could come to music and see music. And particularly, I'm going to stick my colours to the mast. In classical music particularly, we all know some of the issues that around representation and accessibility and things that it's not very easy for people to get into classical music for whatever reason, and we can do big PhDs on it. Well, some people can. I can't. Don't worry. I'm not applying to come back. But it's really important, because this whole continuation of things is so vital. But it's also really tough times for everyone. No one's got a load of money just sitting around. So being able to have this model, which is pay what you can, we changed it quite quickly from starting from pay what you feel to pay what you can, with the emphasis on the word can. Because if you say pay what you feel, everyone's going, I don't feel like paying anything. But if you say pay what you can, it highlights the aspect of some people can pay a lot. Some people in certain moments can't pay a lot at all, or maybe not even anything at all, but it's not means tested. No one's asking for a pay slip. It's just that sense that music is for everyone. If it isn't, I kind of don't know what the point is. And so being able to find a model that works like that means then that we can usually pay people, our performers, additional stuff on top of that, and travel contributions and things like that, usually to a better fee than what you would get if you were doing it on a, a traditional kind of model. But what it does mean is that the people who are sitting here who are going, I don't have a problem paying £20, £25 for a ticket, you get the chance if you want to, and some people genuinely do, pay over the top of that because they can. And that's great, that's good for them. But the people who would have never been able to walk through the door at £25 can walk through the door and go, I've got £2, and that's great. If you don't have £2, it doesn't really matter, we'll find a way. And I think that's testament to the spirit of Leeds, really, as a city, of being able to find a way. We're quite used to, we're still waiting for the super tram or the whatever thing to find its way down Otley Road. And Network North is going to bring that, apparently, but it's not going to happen. So whilst we wait for the super tram, we are, it's really important to say that, Leeds is a city that backs its musicians, backs the people who come to study here. And even if Gwenno's gone off to London, we're proud of that she came to study here and that this city helped her in her progression. And whether you live or work here or move elsewhere, but you have a connection here, it brings people together, whether you're making music here or making music elsewhere. It's a bit long-winded, but I tried my best.
No, hear to all of that. So the Summer Festival goes on till Friday with a performance by internationally renowned jazz musician Jason Rebello. So to get tickets for that, come along. Simeon is performing a lunchtime session and hosting 3 Brudenell Piano Sessions on the 1st, the 8th and the 15th of September, and we'll be sharing details about that in the next couple of weeks. Loads more amazing music lined up for this evening, but can we all please show our appreciation for a really, really important part of the Leeds music scene. Thanks, Simeon.
Okay, well, thank you. My ego has been stroked, and I am feeling wonderful. Thank you, Sally. That was very kind. Thank you so much. You're always welcome. This is the thing that I think is really important about musicians today. You have so much more access to musicians now, and obviously they, if you drop into their DMs or send them an email, they have a choice. They don't have to reply. But most musicians are actually nice people. Like they can be a bit weird and introspective and introverted, and we've spent most of our time downstairs in the basement practicing. But from time to time, it's nice, and I think one of the things that's nice is being able to engage, being able to talk. Come and talk to us at the merch desk afterwards and buy all of our things. And also, because I'm going to say something really controversial here, that we're making the music now, and we're alive. And I know we can kind of reflect back on some of the greats of the past and do lots of studying about that. And I love that. And I built my career on that. But it's really awesome to hear from someone like Gwenno and say, I was doing this. And yeah, I am going to call it cinematic music because it's my music and that's what I make. And even if someone doesn't like that word, I'm going to call it cinematic. And so I'm going to tell her later she needs to keep calling it cinematic music because that's what means something important to her. So that's the really important thing. And if you can't tell, I'm quite passionate about it. So it's really important. Anyway, we need to listen to some music because that's why we're all here. So please could you give a really lovely welcome to another former student from this place, Alice Phelps, and her guitarist, Twam. This is a wonderful new project from 2 really wonderful musicians and bringing something really fresh and really new. And I really hope that you'll give them a really big welcome to Phellotape.
I'm actually going to start away from the piano and with my my new toy, which is the Boss RC300. Is that crackle coming through or is that just on stage? Because if it's just on stage, I don't mind. You can hear it. You like it. Okay, cool. We'll keep it. This is a brand new song. It's the guitar. Okay. We'll just sort that out now. Turn it off and turn it on again. Did it work? Okay, wicked. So this is a brand new song, and its working title, for any fans of Aaron Copland, is Fanfare for the Common Millennial. Enjoy. Oh, well, that's a good... Let's try that again. I don't know what I'm doing. 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 I don't think I want the things I've been sold. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm weary of the trappings they say will make me whole. What I'm doing, and I don't know. I don't know what I am doing with this little life of mine. I don't know what I'm doing with this little life of mine. With this little life of mine. With this little life of mine. I play the strongest games with the hands that I'm dealt. I don't know what I'm doing, but the cards that I need never appear in time to help me, and I don't know. I don't know what I am doing, and I don't know. I don't know what I am doing in this little life of mine. 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 Thank you. It soaked the ground. The rain came down, it was a sweet benediction. It broke the clouds. The rain. I filmed the storm just to show you, though you couldn't feel the weight lifting from the air. I know the storm won't mean much to you. I think I wanted just to you were there. The rain came down, atmospheric electricity was all around. Rain came down, and as we ran for cover, I wished I had bought the car. The rain, I filmed the storm just to show you, though you couldn't feel the weight lifting from the air. I know the storm won't mean much to you, I just miss you, and I wish that it was something we could share. We could share, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be caught in the storm. The rain came down and it soaked me to my skin. I laughed out loud, there was no point in resisting. Rain came down, wild and tender, and it's strange to know the times. It's strange to know this heart of mine as it admits a red light. Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here. This is actually only our second ever gig, and what a delightful gig this is. Thank you, Simeon, for putting us on. As he said, I did my undergrad here many years ago, and doing my undergrad here meant that I became friends with Sim through various circuitous ways, and he and his wife MJ have become two of my closest and oldest friends. So I hope you now don't get lots of emails complaining of nepotism within the the piano sessions community, but I'm thrilled to be here. Yeah, that first song that you heard was the most recent song that I've written. It just kind of spilled out of me while I was fiddling around with my RC300 in my mum's living room. So clearly something in my subconscious needed to get out. And then the song you just heard, called The Rain, is actually the first song that I ever wrote about a year ago. So this is a new venture for me. I'm actually a double bassist. And the last time I was playing here, I was in that room, like Gwenno was saying, doing 40 minutes of solo classical double bass, which was definitely a hard chew for me, and I think probably quite a hard chew for the audience as well. So this is a lot more fun. What are we singing next? We're doing barreling, aren't we? Yeah, lovely. This is another... Thank you. Oh my God. You guys. You're going to ruin all future gigs for me. Okay, this one is called Barreling. more disaster. Barreling along the tracks and pulling on the brakes only drives us faster. Our futures are for fate to decide. So long as we're on this journey, I'll enjoy the ride. Kindling a spark to flame, even though we know not to play with fire. Too invested in the game to notice how the flames keep on dancing higher. Our futures are for fate to decide. As long as we're on this journey, I'll enjoy the ride. Don't look up ahead, don't fear what's to come. We know the damage is already done. Don't lose your head, this was meant to be fun. We know the damage is already done. Is this a lesson you both have to learn through? Headlong collision will crash and will burn. Our futures are for fate to decide. So now that we're on this journey, I'll enjoy the ride. Thank you very much. Got Thomas Twemlow on guitar with me today. If it weren't for him, I would not be writing songs. None of them would get finished. I would lose confidence. He has been an invaluable source of support. So that was a song I wrote fairly recently about a intoxicating but doomed situation that I had found myself in with someone. And this one I wrote a few months after, so you'll find out how it turned out. It's called Brave, and it's about trying to do the right thing. Thanks, everyone. You are very whoopy, aren't you? We've been getting the beers in. I'm going to after this. dreams that look so inviting, but they're not what they seem. You see, they're built on foundations of sand that slip through our fingers when we hold them in our hands. And I need to tear myself away before my foolish heart convinces me that we should stay a little longer in this tangled mess we've made. We've had our fun, and now it's time for us to behave. Feels like home in your warm embrace, so I'll pretend for a while that this is my rightful place. But I don't belong here, you know it too, and it's only getting harder to face the truth. And I need to tear myself away before my foolish heart convinces me that we should stay a little longer in this tangled mess we've made. We've had our fun, and now it's time for us to behave. We've had our fun, and now it's time for us to be brave. Thank you. So as you can see, it went well. I'm trying to think if there were other things that I wanted to say to you while I was up here, apart from thank you. You're a really gorgeous audience full of musicians, which is absolutely terrifying. But you're being very generous and very attentive. And yeah, the other acts on this evening are just superb. And yeah, so we're going to switch up the energy a little bit. This next song is called Hungry Ghosts. For any Buddhists in the audience, the realm of hungry ghosts is a concept which I won't wang on about up here, but you can Google it. And it's also a book by a really amazing psychologist called Gabor Mate, and it's a book about addiction. So yeah, this is a song about vices, and I think you will figure out which vice I'm talking about fairly quickly. Even when I have you, I still want you. When I hold you, I still need you. When you touch me, I'm still pining for your skin pressed up against mine. Why am I aching for you? What can I do? How is it I miss you when you're near me? I don't want to be this needy, but at night with limbs entwined, there's only one thing on my mind. how to stop longing for you. What can I do? This behavior can't be healthy. Nothing that I do seems to help me stop yearning for you. What can I do? Even when I'm strung out and I'm weary, your nearness is a danger to me clearly. And it's late, so you should go. But I don't want to be alone tonight. I'll only be waiting for you. What can I do? This behavior can't be healthy. Nothing that I do seems to help me stop yearning for you. What can I do? Why don't I care about the rest of my life? Trying to contain it feels like twisting a knife. We're chasing round the edges of my borderline, and I don't know if we'll ever be satisfied, for there are hungry ghosts deep in all of us. Most can be controlled, most can get enough. This hungry ghost is running the show, and all I can do is try to let go. Got one more on my own because I'm a show-off. It's a very quick one, and it's not actually one that I've written. It's an Irish song called "The Parting Glass," and I sang it about a year ago to the day, actually, as we stood on a beach somewhere called Hayling Island, which is down south near Portsmouth, scattering my dad's ashes into the sand and the waves. I had a fairly fraught relationship with my dad, but one thing that we did share was a love of music, particularly like Irish folk music. He loved the Dubliners, and they do a great version of this song, which is very different to the version I'm going to do. And it's about death and makes you think about things that matter. So thank you so much for being a gorgeous audience. I've been Alice, this has been Twem, we've been Phellotape, and yeah, do come and chat to us afterwards. We've got nowhere to be, so we can hang out for ages. Of all the money that e'er I had, I have spent it in and for the harm that e'er I done. Alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they are sad that I am going away, and of all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay. And since it falls unto my lot that I must go and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all. Thank you.
All right. Friends, that was Phellotape. All right. Amazing. Thank you so much, Alison Twine. Thank you so much. We've got one artist to go. And this is a perfect example of what piano sessions at the Brudenell is about. Because we're going to go from that to something really quite completely different. And that's exactly the point. So I think that quite a lot of the time, not all the time, because I should make that caveat, but sometimes in programming and stuff, I think sometimes we don't quite give you guys, who are the audience, enough credit for what you can cope with. Now, don't worry, because the next thing's not crazy either, but putting them together is really important, and I think that most people have a really excellent ability to go, oh, I love this music, oh, I love that music, and it's different, and it's this, and it's that. And that's why I think it's really important to put all of this stuff on together. This next artist is going to make sounds out of this rather exciting cube alongside the piano. I don't know what it is. It looks homemade to me, which sounds fantastic, which looks very exciting as well. We had this artist to come to perform at the Brudenell last year as well, and similarly, we had so much great feedback about their performance that I was delighted to get them to come here again for this one. She's come from Newcastle, and I really hope that you'll give her a really warm welcome back to Leeds. Please give it up for Ieva Dubova.
Thank you. I was trying to be careful because I'm a very clumsy person. So it's glad to be here, back again at Leeds. And yes, I will make some sound with the cube. Is the cube on? Yes. Let me just test it. Look at this. Is it working? He's not telling me anything. It's been on for a while, you know. There you go. See. So, believe in the cube. Yes, I did make it at home. That is true. I am originally a classical pianist turned composer, I guess. Yes, there's a book that proves I am. And I'm very interested in textures and sound. And I'm generally a village person. You'll laugh, but the little town I went to school my first year had 500 people living in it. So when I say village, I mean a village. Our neighbors had a cow, and that's where I got milk. So I am from a village, and I'm really glad to be. I don't think the north is a village, but I'm glad to be back up north after my experience in London. And I'm going to start with something called Sweet Lament. And this is a very personal piece that I actually wrote in the past couple of days. So I hope you like it. It's been a bit stressful. It's called Sweet Lament, so I think a lot of people find it quite self-explanatory. Unfortunately, I can't be with somebody that's very dear to me who's going through experiencing major loss at the moment. So the way I work through things in my life is to try and just devote myself to music at the time when I don't know what else to do. So I will start with that, but I do promise there will be a brighter note later on. I hope you like it. Thank you so much. I don't think this goes down. I feel like a giraffe is my favorite animal, so it's not a bad thing. I really like them very much, so it's probably because I was born in Latvia and you could not see a giraffe there. So, anyhow, I'm going to continue on a brighter note without the cue. So, but I'm going to try and make some textures with the piano, and I'm going to play a couple of my preludes, and I'm going to start with two, Before Time and Burning. These are inspired by sort of my view of how the universe or the world became to be, and the tonal language is not atonal, and it is not also in a key either. Somebody said in its own tonality, so actually it has a very specific tonality. I use Scriabin's Mystic Chord, this crazy composer who used to live a long time ago. It was totally bonkers. He believed he could change the universe every time he played. So look him up. Anyway, big fan of the ideas. And so I just kind of experimented a few years about this and came up with this whole set of preludes. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to do two without a break, Before Time and Burning. And if you are religious, I think it's very self-explanatory. If you believe in science, then just imagine the Big Bang, maybe at one point of these. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you. I was kind of playing and remembered that Tim said that I'm not crazy. Sim, sorry. I told you I'm clumsy and I said the wrong things. It's a good thing that I live alone with 2 cats. Nobody can hear me. So this is an occasion. Hence I dressed up. So, okay, enough about that. We go on to a lighter note, though. Don't worry. I am a bit crazy, I think. But I hope you still enjoy that. So I'm going to continue with a couple more preludes and then another piece with the cube. And I'm going to play these without a break. And so I'm going to go to a lot lighter things. So next one is prelude number 5, which is Towards the Light. So all this hellish nonsense has finished. And we are moving on. And then I think you'll be very pleased to hear that right after we're going to go through the ethereal dream. See, I promised I deliver, hopefully. And so I think that's going to be a good idea. And then we're going to hear a little bit of a song with woodland sounds, ironically, meant for one of the only species of corals that grow in the northeast England and Scotland. So let's move on with the preludes. Thank you. You're so flattering. It's too much. Okay, so I will continue with something else using this cube, and it's a crazy thing. So there's this coral species called Lophelia, and there's not many corals, as you know, in Britain. It's not really the Caribbean. It's kind of grey, but it's a really vital part of ecosystem. It's more up north, and this sounds a little bit silly, but I love the nature and I love the seaside. Hence, I'm just so thrilled to live in Newcastle. But when I was sitting outside in the forest with my microphone like this and recording some birds for my pieces, I think I was feeling a little bit like an odd person out. And most of the pieces as well for this are actually about the seaside and the shore and the lighthouse. So when I picked this piece, I think I just like the really odd things, sitting in a forest on my own, recording birds for a piece that's meant to do with the sea, and having a little coral so that, is in the Northern Sea rather than in the Caribbean. So here is Lophelia and the shore. Thank you so much. I think it's time, right? So thank you for listening, and for all the other artists, they were so amazing. I was really, see, the cube never gives up. I'm tired, he never is. No. It's cool. It's a little thing that I just painted. It does look like a tissue box. I need to rethink the design. I will have a think about that. But thank you so much again, and thank you, Sim, for organizing this. It's amazing. I love to come back. And thank you, Leeds.
All right. Thank you. I just require one more minute of your attention, if you would be so kind. If you want to come and have a look at the cube, do come and have it. I feel like it's got a kind of persona of its own right now. So come and have a look at the cube. Come and chat to Ieva. Ieva's got some sheet music, so if you want to play that at home, if that's something that you'd like to do come and have a look at that. We've got card readers and all that stuff. I've got vinyl, I've got CDs, I've got stuff if you want. These little round beer mat coasters, frisbees, whatever that you want to use them for, it's up to you. They're rather fetchist. My artwork for one of my releases. It's got a QR code on the back because, like I said, that's how we do things. That's a really good way of staying in touch, but also it's basically a gift from me to you. I've been going around all over the place trying to convince people that people from Yorkshire, we're not tight. We just look after our money. But it's a gift from me to you. So please take it home. It reminds you of a really good evening, I hope. And I hope that you'll stay in touch both with Piano Sessions and with me. A few thank yous. Thank you very much to Dan, to Jess, and everyone here at the School of Music. Thank you to Sally. And a big round of applause to Colin as well for making this happen. And to the live streamers, hello. Look at this. Look at this camera. Let's be honest. That's pretty cool. And if you want to relive this evening, I'm sure. Ooh, here we go. If you want, is this what happens on TV? If you'd like to relive the evening, you can go onto the YouTube channel of the University of Leeds concert season and follow it and relive it if you'd like to. So thank you very much to everyone here for having us and for welcoming us into this space. As Sally said, if you'd like to come to the next set of Brudenell Piano Sessions, you need to keep Sunday the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th of September in your diary. They're going to be happening at 1 o'clock down in town. It's going to be in pretty much the most unique space you'll ever have seen live music in. If that doesn't grab your interest, then I don't know what can happen. But please do come and be a part of it. It's going to be really special, and we've got some really brilliant artists lined up, as you might expect, all featuring the piano, but all creating original music, but doing it in a way which I hope inspires, gives you something fresh, something new to think about, some people to look out for, some people to follow, some people to get behind and support, because musicians at the moment, we need you more than ever in terms of your support as audiences and music fans and music lovers. And like I said, the whole point really with this is that it's not one style of music. It's just actually, it's not about whether something is a natural bedfellow with something else. Actually, this is an amazing instrument and we love it so much, and everything that happens around it is really special. So do please come and see us again. Do sign up to the mailing list as well if you'd like to over there, or you can do it via the QR code. It would be lovely to see you again in the future, and do come and see us when we're down at the Brudenell again I'm not quite sure when, but we will be there. Please, could you also give an amazing round of applause? She'll probably be, I don't know, some awful place like Retford or Grantham now. Sorry if you're from there. To Gwenno Morgan, who on the train. Godspeed. and come back soon. The last time we did a piano session, we had some terrible travel things, so I hope she gets there okay. Please give it up for Phellotape. Awesome. And finally, you heard the absolutely fascinating music and soundscapes and textural sounds of Ieva Dubova. It's been a real pleasure to share this evening with you. Have an excellent election day tomorrow. I hope all your dreams come true. Remember, things can only get better. I've been Simeon Walker, and this has been Brudenell Piano Sessions. See you soon. Thank you.